Hello everybody and welcome to Unwritten Rules. This is just a thought. The other day I was kind of reminiscing about some of the older jobs that I had, and one of my favorite jobs had to do with computers. I was fortunate enough to get involved in computers early in the game, and I was a network installer, I was a telephone technician, I was a repairman, and I even started my own business when I was up in Baltimore installing parts for people, and I was making a nice little chunk of change for this, you know. And it's kind of funny. The good thing about that job was I got to meet all kinds of people. I mean, from all different walks of life. Some people just getting into computers. There were some business people that came in that had computers and wanted to expand their computers, and I got to help all these people, so it was really exciting. But one particular person that I can remember was this guy who would always come in. He had started his business, and he would always come in, and he just kind of had a happy attitude and everything, you know, and really likable individual. Well, several weeks after I had met him, he ended up meeting the girl of his dreams. The guy was a little older, drove a nice car, had a nice house, big business he had just started, and he was really, I mean, things were looking up for him, you know, things were really going good for him. But when he met this girl, he was exceptionally excited, you know. It was constantly, all the time, you know. It was like, oh, Aaron, you know, I went out last night, we had such a good time. And then finally, they consummated their relationship. And I mean, the next day, he just had to come in and let me know that happened. Now, he didn't get into the gory details and everything, but I mean, he let me know that, man, this girl really did things, Aaron. And I thought, okay, yeah, you know, I'm happy for you, man. It's really good. But a couple days later, he comes back and he's kind of emphasizing the fact that this woman was really something else here. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, man, you know, maybe you ought to keep that to yourself, you know. But he's a customer, and I have to be nice to him. So I kind of go like, yeah, man, you know, I'm really happy for you. Go, do your thing. Well, a couple days later, he comes back in, and he's kind of starting to get into details. I mean, this guy is really excited about this relationship, and he looks at me and he goes, Aaron, man, I'll tell you, this woman can do things. I mean, man, she can do things. And I thought like, wow, man, you know, okay, you know, kind of too much information here. And but I was polite, I was nice, because, you know, he's a customer and we got to keep the customers happy, you know. So his business started becoming more and more successful, and it was unbelievable, man. He was just starting to really do even better than he was, and he was still coming in at least once a week and kind of bragging about how good his lady was when it comes to the nighttime action. And I'm thinking, you know, okay, man, you know, more power to you, go for it, you know. You know, and so all of a sudden he comes up to me one day and he says, Aaron, you know, my business is doing well, and I'm kind of having a little get together for all the people that kind of helped me make it and helped me get my business on the road. And since you were kind of giving me a lot of computer information, you helped me out with what parts to buy and things like that, I'd really like for you to come to this party. And so, of course, it's a party, and I'm thinking, okay, man, you know, I'll get together. Not really much of the time for hanging out with a bunch of people I don't know, but, you know, he's a nice guy, and of course he's a client, and I want to keep him coming in. So I figured I'd just kind of go in and just do this party thing, you know, maybe stay about 30, 40, maybe an hour at the most, and then kind of excuse myself and disappear. So I'll put on a nice suit and everything, get the hair all dude up and whatnot, you know, and I go to this little get-together, and of course I don't know anyone there. So I come in and I kind of like look for a spot in the back, you know, and I see this table and it's got two young ladies sitting there. And so I walk over and I say to these two young ladies, you guys mind if I sit with you? I mean, I don't know anybody, and you know, I'm kind of like just kind of looking for somebody to hang out with and talk to. So they were like, well, sure, come on, the more the merrier. And so I sat down with them, and we had a very interesting conversation. I mean, we talked about several different things, and I mean, these ladies were really on board. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm having a really good time here. Well, all of a sudden, the third young lady walks up, and she sits down at our table, and she joins into our conversation. And I mean, this woman's like really on top of things. I mean, she's into politics. I mean, even cars. She knew a little bit about everything. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is really great. I'm really enjoying myself with this young lady. And all of a sudden, just out of the blue, she says, you know, I've never dated a black man before, but I would date you. How do you respond to that? You know, how do you just kind of come out and say, okay, what do you say to that? So basically I just said, well, thank you. But then she looked at the two other women at the table and she says, wouldn't you date him? And the other ladies went, I know I would, sure, I'd love to date him. I'm seeing somebody, but yeah, if I wasn't seeing anybody, then yes, I would try to date you. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm feeling really good right now, but the thing is I'm kind of feeling, you know, I mean, like I said, how do you respond to that, you know? And this woman just started coming on to me, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, this is really kind of making me uncomfortable because I'm in front of these two young ladies and we're talking, we're having a good time, and all of a sudden she blurts out something like that. And again, what do you say to that, you know? And it'd be different if it was just me and her, and then we could kind of just talk, you know, but in front of the other ladies, I just felt a little uncomfortable. Well, as we begin to talk and she's constantly blowing my head up, all of a sudden, I feel this hand on my shoulder, and I look up to see who it is, and it's the guy who put the show on, the whole thing, you know, the get together. And he says, oh, Aaron, I see you've met my wife. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this is the woman you've been telling me about? This woman has been coming on to me for about 30 minutes now. And I'm thinking to myself, this is unbelievable. How am I going to deal with this? And they speak, he bends down, he kisses her and does the whole thing, you know, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do here? This is unbelievable. And so, I don't know what to do, right? So she's constantly coming on to me. As soon as he leaves, she goes back to this thing about, yeah, talking about black and white couples dating and everything. And all of a sudden, I start thinking about, I wonder what kind of the things that she was doing in the bedroom. And all those thoughts just start to shoot through my head. Constantly he's telling me about how great she was in the bedroom and everything. And those thoughts are thinking like, well, maybe I can find out, you know. And I'm feeling really uncomfortable now because she's constantly trying to, you know, talk to me and seem like she's trying to pick me up, and he's gone, and she's really pouring on, and these other two ladies, it doesn't seem to bother them at all. So I'm kind of going like, oh man, you know, this is really, really messing me up here. And so I get so uncomfortable because now these visions are starting to shoot in my head. And so finally I decide, you know, it might be best for me to excuse myself and leave. And so that's what I did. I said, well, thank you ladies for a really nice conversation. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to go now. But I really appreciate you sharing your table with me. And I really appreciate your conversation. And I left because I just didn't want to get caught up in what was going here. Some kind of secret triangle where she's looking at me and grinning while she's holding her husband's hand and everything. And I'm thinking like, you know what? It's not going to work. This isn't going to work, you know. I think it's best that in a situation like that for you to just leave. And another thing, guys, I got to tell you, I don't think it's a good thing for you to talk about what goes on in the bedroom. I really don't. I think that's kind of something you should keep to yourself. I know I personally don't talk about my relationship with my wife in the bedroom when I was married, and I'm not married now, and I'm kind of single and happy right now. I'm really enjoying myself, but you know what? It's not good to get mixed up with somebody who even has a boyfriend. I think that when you see somebody you like and they're attached and they're kind of going, but don't worry, me and him, we're going to be leaving, me and her, it's not lasting, it's not working out, and you know what? Fine, divorce them, break up with them. Allow that little bit of time, between when you're not, when you're not seeing anybody or anything. So that way that person can come back and say, well, he stole her from me, or she stole him from me. People, when they break up, they're looking for a reason. They can't just admit, I screwed up. They've got to blame somebody. And then the thing about it is, when you break up with somebody, you're going to probably do the same thing. You're going to go tell all your friends, it didn't work out, and he's a no good son of something, or she's a no good son of something. And I got to tell you, I've done it myself. People have come up and asked me, Aaron, what happened in your relationship? And I say, well, this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and it didn't work out. I'm a single father now, and I got custody of my kids, and I'm really loving life right now. And so it's just kind of a thought, though, guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen. You guys, when it comes to the bedroom, keep it to yourself. And that's just a thought for me. You don't want to, what's the term? Fatten the cow for the next guy? I guess it's the best way I can explain it. I'm not going to give you an advantage, I'm going to keep it to myself, and I suggest that you do the same. Until I see you guys again, my name is Aaron, and I'm going to do what I do best, and let's talk. Have a good night.